Title: Beyond the Screen. It was a stormy October night in the small town of Hollow Creek, the wind howling through the streets like a lost soul, and rain lashed against windows like fingers tapping for attention. Gathered in her dimly lit basement, a group of 4 friends, Maya, Jake, Zoe, and Elias, huddled around the flickering glow of a TV set. They had just discovered a mysterious VHS tape while rummaging through old boxes in Maya's attic, labeled simply, The Uncanny. "Let's watch it," Zoe exclaimed, her voice laced with thrill and a hint of mischief. They had been looking for something to make the night more exciting, something beyond just studying for the upcoming exams. As the tape rolled, the screen crackled to life, revealing a montage of characters, some sinister, some beloved, laughing, scheming, and plotting chaos. But as the images morphed, their expressions darkened, and the scenes shifted from playful interactions to blood-soaked horror, the friends felt a chill creep down their spines. "Is this supposed to be scary?" Jake asked, leaning back, trying to instill confidence but failing as he noticed the uneasy shift in his friends' demeanors. Maya shrugged. "Just wait for it to get good." What they didn't realize was that this tape was unlike any other. As the last image faded to black, the room grew eerily silent, and darkness enveloped the basement as if a heavy curtain had been drawn over them. The TV emitted a strange humming, vibrating through their bones. Suddenly, a piercing shriek echoed from the screen, vibrating the very walls around them. They huddled closer together, hearts racing, breathing quickening when, without warning, the air crackled, illuminating the room in a flash of blinding light. And then, they were there. Characters. Their most terrifying nightmares, stepped out of the television, flesh and blood made real. Ghostly figures molded by the dark imagination of restless filmmakers and writers, they stood in front of the friends, grinning maliciously. Maya recognized them first. The brooding figure from her favorite horror flick, a well-known slasher whose knife glimmered in the dim light. "I've been waiting for some fresh faces," he said with a crooked smile, twisting his knife in his palms. "Run," Zoe screamed. But the basement door slammed shut with a force that rattled the windows, locking them in. The screen had trapped them inside. They were now players in a sinister game initiated by the malevolent beings they had unwittingly invited into their world. Elias jumped up, trying to push against the door. It stuck. The slasher moved closer, his breath cold against their faces. "You chose us. Now, let's play a game. Which one of you will be the first to join the final scene?" He cackled, sending a wash of terror through the group. "Think," Jake shouted, urging his friends to rally. There must be a way to send them back. But one by one, the characters crept closer, each more horrifying than the last, a monster with tentacles slithering out of an animated tail, a doll with haunting eyes and a sinister smile, each armed with weapons forged in nightmares. Maya clutched the VHS tape, the only connection to their world outside. "Maybe we can reverse it," she yelled. "We just need to play it again." "We can't," Zoe cried, backing into a corner, glancing over at the menacing figures. "What if it makes them stronger?" Or enraged, Elias added, his chest tightening with fear. They had to act fast. With the tape in hand, they struck a desperate deal. They would indeed play the tape again. It was a gamble, but they had little choice. Maya placed it back into the VHS player, fingers trembling as she pressed play. The screen flickered and glowed, images swirling before them, the various characters chuckling darkly, their eyes burning into the 4 friends. "Let's have some fun before we leave, shall we?" the slasher hissed, raising his knife. As the characters began to move in sync with the music, Maya shouted, "Not for long." Courage ignited within them. They shouted out the words on the screen, mixing chants with fearful cries, intending to harness the power of the show against its own dark magic. The room trembled, and then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the characters screamed, wailing against the energy the friends had conjured. The screen flashed once more, and a blinding light surrounded them. When the light dimmed, the friends found themselves back in the basement, the tape laying silent beside them. They exchanged bewildered looks, gasping for the reality that had almost slipped away. Maya let out a shaky breath. "We did it." The storm outside had subsided, and the moonlight streamed through the window, illuminating the basement in a calm glow. But as the silence enveloped them, a soft humming echoed from the corner, ever so softly. They turned, and their eyes widened in horror. The tape began to twist and crackle once more, a new image flickering to life. Shadows creeping across the screen. The very characters from before staring back at them, grinning with their familiar malevolence. "We'll be back," the slasher whispered, before darkness fell over the screen completely. The friends realized, with terror sinking deep into their bones, that some stories can never truly end.